Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Histar GIU Carbon Edition. Now, I actually did an unboxing on this yesterday and the video quality wasn't the best, so I thought I'd reshoot it, so I guess it's not a true unboxing, but yeah, let's get stuck into it. Awesome box, magnetic, just like the other boxes, no specs or anything like that on the box, and inside has there's some foam and there's a little guide in there. It doesn't have any specs specific to the reel, just some basic stuff. Right, we'll put that aside. Now, just as a little bonus, I also got this braid. I think the Sembo braid, the Zukibo braid, I think it's the same, but this is a 13 strand braid. It was pretty cheap and I just love the color of it. I've always been kind of looking for this color, and I actually got the Trout Finesse X4 by Varibus maybe, I don't know, 18 months ago, 2 years ago, something like that. It's pretty much the same color. Maybe this is ever so slightly more greenish than it is bluish for a teal, if that makes sense. But just some initial impressions. Feels thin. This is a 0.8 Go braid. Feels thin. Doesn't seem to have a lot of coating on it, and doesn't seem to have like sort of stiffness or memory to it. So it looks promising so far. But anyway, let's get a look at the reel, and here it is. Now it's obviously, it's not black, it's carbon, so it's the same kind of color as the Solo King BMC 100. So sort of that dark gray. You can kind of see some sort of like, you know, fibers or whatever it is in the detail there. So pretty nice looking reel, and this should match pretty good with the Pure Lure Zero, because the reel seat on the Pure Lure Zero, pardon me, is the same color as this, so that should be good. Anyway, we'll take a quick look at the tolerances. Already done this yesterday, but we'll do it again. So I'm not going to be surprised. Virtually no play there. You really couldn't get much better than that. Same goes for this one. In and out play here. You know, pretty much as good as anything else. Smoothness. I mean, it's not buttery, but it's okay. Has pretty low resistance, which is good. It has, well, here's the issue I had found yesterday. So the drag clickers usually come fully cranked on reels, it seems. I don't know why, but there must be a reason. Well, let's just see how much play it had. It's quite difficult to turn, clicking drag. But you know, there's not a whole heap of range of motion there. You know, I don't know if it's such a bad thing, but it's definitely not easy to spin. I mean, you don't want it too easy, but it's a little bit on the hard side. But you know, I'd give that a pass. It's not terrible, but these are quite short. So you know, if you were doing sort of like a one-handed retrieve, you can get onto them pretty good. It's probably better just to sort of touch the reel, or you know, just fluke it and get whatever you get. But that seems okay. Spool tension knob, sort of on the tight side. I think I mean, it's not so tight that it's kind of like inconvenient to turn. It's tight enough that, you know, you can kind of be precise with it. Like, you can grip it and you can really turn it, you know, a millimeter, half a millimeter, whatever it is, and sort of make some fine adjustments, but it's not clicking, which I like. I think this is a pretty good spool tension knob, to be honest. But there's no sort of like, kind of like reference points where you can see it, but I guess you can, you know, just back it off or jack it up a little bit if you need to. Alright, well, the brakes, this dial, it's probably the thing I like the least about this reel. A little bit difficult to turn. Again, you're not going to accidentally do it. I mean, not that I've ever accidentally changed the brakes during fishing. It's not super easy to get to, but it's not too bad either. There's no real sort of like reference marker as to where it is, because you know, if you put it up to 5 all the way, you got the 5 and you got the 0 on the so a little dot or something would have been good, but actually there is a little dot there. It's kind of hard to see. It's not colored or anything, it's just a little indentation, and yeah, you can see that above the zero. We'll give it a see what the free spool is like. Now this particular version, I've got the silver one and the red one as well. Now the difference is, apart from the body, which is carbon, this has it says NMB semi-ceramic ball bearings as opposed to stainless steel bearings. So the free spool on this should be, strictly speaking, better, but maybe the sort of like the wear and tear, it might not be as durable in the long run, especially if you're saltwater fishing, but time will tell. Anyway, we've got that disengaged, as you can hear. Definitely that hybrid ceramic sound. Free spool's, you know, pretty good, but free spool is pretty, it's not something I would really judge a reel on, because the Pure Lure Silver Feather has pretty bad, well, if you could say bad, it doesn't spin very long on the free spool, and that does not affect the reel's performance at all. So it's just, yeah, interesting to see. We'll jack it up to 5, check the brakes, see the effect on the free spool. Whoop, got that open still. And you can see it stops there. Now this particular spool is, it's meant to be lighter than the other one. The silver one is meant to be like 2.05 grams, the red one 2.5, and this one is meant to be 1.95, so it's meant to be under 2 grams. Now unfortunately I can't find my tiny scales to measure that, so let's just assume it's, you know, 2 grams or whatever. Not that, you know, 0.05 or 0.1 of a gram's difference is really going to make any difference, but for those of you that haven't seen, I went over the braking in the Aurora Air and the other GIU videos, but basically this, you know, 3210 setting, you can either have these 3 outer magnets dynamic, or you can, you know, choose to have 1 dynamic, 2 dynamic, 3 dynamic, or all of them static. So that's what that is all about, and the braking is pretty good on these reels. So what we'll do is I'll just weigh the reel with the spool out, and this is also meant to weigh 99 grams, so we'll see what happens there. I think 102 is kind of like the lightest I've ever seen on these reels. Also couldn't find my other scales. I haven't done one of these videos for a little while, so I couldn't find my other scales, but this should be fine. Zeroed it out, whack it on there. Are you kidding me? 98 grams. That's without the spool. Wow. 99. Turn it off. Let's just see, restart it. Just see what happens again. 98. It's probably like 98.5 or something, and it's just rounding up. Wow, that's interesting. I guess this is the world's lightest reel. Let's put the spool in, and we'll see. It's in the open position. I'm going to spin that down like so. Pop it off. Spool in. A little bit of grease on there. Don't mind that. Put that in. Have it on that little bit of an angle. Twist it up. Lock it into position. Boom. Alright, let's see. Alright. 101. 102. Huh. Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, these scales are probably not the most accurate, but yeah, more or less it's probably weighs the same as the other one. Maybe it's a gram lighter, but you know, with the accuracy of these scales, it's probably pretty hard to tell. But yeah, pretty much my impressions are, at its current price, it's like 120 odd Australian dollars. It's, you know, performance wise, I'd save my money and just go for the Aurora Air, to be honest. Although, you know, the Aurora Air does have issues. There seems to be some more consistency with the quality control on these GIUs, and I guess, you know, if you don't like silver, then this may be an option for you. And I'm not a big fan of silver, to be honest. I'm not a big fan of orange either, to be honest. So like, yeah, it's I'll take it. Anyway guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.